Hey everybody! So this is Shepard here to help all of those gunners out there. As of Friday with the newest patch, Slicing Shot is no longer the newest hotness. That's kind of a good thing though, because while Slicing Shot did get its damage reduced by quite a bit, we also had some buffs. So through a little bit of reverse engineering and discussion in the community, it seems like Normal got a buff of almost 50%, Elemental Shots got a buff, and Pierce got a slight buff. Pellet was remaining the same. Pellet is actually still a pretty good shot, but between all of the changes, I'm thinking that Normal is going to be one of the better shots to use. With that in mind, I've put together a set that everybody can use, as well as a custom set that you can use after making decorations. So let's go through the weapon and the choices. So there's a lot of good choices for normal two-shots. The Karma gun, which is from Odogaron, is probably the best. Runner-ups are Nergiante and the Workshop Light Bowgun, which I may make a video on the Workshop Light Bowgun at some point in case we want to do heavy status gunning. But for now, we're going to use Karma. It comes with a native 30% affinity, which has been boosted by some skills, which I'll go over, as well as fairly high raw. The only downside is it only has one spot for augmentations, but everything else being equal, that's okay. We've put 2 reload assists to be able to reload normal 2 a little bit faster, as well as 1 close range up for a little bit of extra damage when we're close to the monster. Dragonking Eyepatch is used for weakness exploit, as well as its level 3 charm, which isn't level 3 decoration, which isn't being used fully at this point, although you will see when I switch over, it will. Dober Mail comes with 2 points of attack boost, as well as 3 slots. Kaiser Vambraces rounds out the Dragonking Eyepatch to finish up weakness exploit, as well as a level 3 slot. Nergiante Coil has a level 2 slot and 2 attack boost in native. And then the Diablos Nero Greaves, we are using these for the normal shot boost and the 2 second level decoration, as well as an awakening charm. This is because we want to be able to use 4 normal shots in a row that will kind of help keep our damage per second up consistently. And outside of that, I mean, you could use a, aggravation charm if you wanted. You'll see in my custom set I do use that. But this is certainly something you can make without having any specific decorations in mind. Just put in your best damage decorations that you can and go for it. So, Slicing Shot on this setup, right, which is a fairly powerful raw setup. There's 14 times 5. Of course, it's not suited for slicing because we can only lose 1 shot at a time. However, if we go to normal rapid level 2, right, 56, 28, 28, that's what, 90, 104, 112. That is pretty decent damage, right? So I would certainly say that it should be capable to do, 112 damage times 4 is a lot, at least against that pull. I'm going to show off my custom set as well. That's what we're going to end up using, but certainly that set can be used. This set, because I got a Tenderizer Talisman, I was able to switch out those Teostra Greaves. I put the Nergigante... I'm sorry, not Greaves. Vambraces. Switch out those Vambraces for Nergigante Vambraces. This gives us even more attack, as well as Agitator, and an extra level of maximum might, I believe. So this is pure attack. Assuming we're not going to get hit by anything, it's pretty good. How much more damage does it do? Not a whole heck of a lot. Right? But when the monster is angry, we will do more damage because we have those extra levels of Agitator on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and load up a quest and just show how it works. Oh, one other thing to mention. This gun has 3 levels of status with very little recoil. I'm going to try and do a quest where I actually use all of this, if that makes sense. Para has a bit of kickback, right? But at least poison and sleep, no problem. Doing plenty of damage. Okay, so I decided to go up against a Kieran. Just a fairly good monster to gun. Historically, he's been gunned quite a bit over the series. Reason being is that his body, especially with his super armor, is so difficult to hit with most weapons. You really have to hit the head. And the gun has quite a bit of freedom to hit the head. Alright, looks like we got lucky with his spawn. He's down at the bottom, which is better for us. We don't have to wait for him to drop down. And while this gun is certainly good for status, unfortunately for him, we're not going to bother using para or poison. He's completely immune to para. Poison he'll take some damage from, but we're better off using our real stuff. But he is weak to sleep. It's actually one of the better ways to fight him. Sleep bombing him was actually a very common strategy in previous versions of the game, which we're going to do a little bit of. Let's get our peak performance up, at least up, you know, until we get destroyed by him again. Let's drop some mega barrel bombs down. And let's go ahead and put a thunderproof mantle. Hopefully we don't get hit. This is Kieran we're talking about. So essentially, if you were right up next to Kieran with our close range mod on, we're hitting for 44 damage as opposed to 38 damage. It's like a roughly 10% damage boost. The nice thing, though, is that normally if we would have had to use pellet, we would have to be right up next to him the whole time. That's not fun. Lots of explosions going off. There we go. I got him to trip. And again, I don't claim to be the best gunner out there. I just recently did a thing where I moved the camera back. You can go under the options and have a far camera. I kind of recommend it, especially with gunning. Your aim gets drawn in so quickly or so far away that it can be a little bit of a challenge to give yourself like that wide range of what's going on around you. But I am still getting used to the change a little bit. He does this thing where he'll create lines of electricity. Make sure you're aware of those. Probably getting pretty close to another trip. Even if he isn't, we're probably going to sleep him as soon as this last mine pops up. He's actually probably fairly close to another trip as well. See, I did not want to brave that electricity there. Okay, so before he puts up his... Oh, this is perfect. He has this electricity he'll throw up on him, which makes it really hard to put status and stuff on him. And I was really hoping that we could avoid that. And we did. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll redo our powders too. Let's make our bombs real bombs. Let's get this last mine down. Okay. Okay, so his horn broke. It means he's relatively close. It's really the beauty of light bowgun. You know, outside of lance, I don't know that there's necessarily anything that works as well as it for keeping up damage while moving. We were able to enrage him, so we don't have to chase him all the way up the mountain, which is perfect. Other nice thing about normal two-shots, really cheap. Really easy to make more of them. Okay. It's probably one of the cleanest Kieran hunts I've ever done. Truth be told, this was my second try. This was not done on the first take. I'll just say that the choice to put the Thunder Mantle on before actually engaging him. It's probably something you want to do. That Thunder Mantle can be used if you fight the low-rank Kieran. So, make sure you do that. But otherwise, it's a lot of fun. I mean, even on other monsters, like I said, you have Poison. You have Para. You can bring Combine so easily now. If you're playing in a group, you can be that guy. So there will likely be a video later on. I'll probably make a slightly different set using a different gun, just showing the power of status gunning, because it really is a lot of fun. You really do feel as if you're contributing a lot to the team, because, you know, having a 4-person sleep bomb or just allowing your other 3 teammates to take full advantage of paralysis, it's pretty great. It's very satisfying. Yeah, pretty good time too, right? No complaints there. Let's go ahead. Let's go over to the workshop. In case any of you are having specific problems on making not this set. Well, we'll show this set and we'll show the modification. The only real modification was on the arms. Okay, so Dragonking Eyepatch, probably one of the best weapons in the game. Or sorry, weapons. Or headpieces in the game. Dragon Vein crystals are mined in the Elder's Recess. High commendations are just from doing more difficult quests. And 6 Immortal Dragon Scales are from Nergiante. Chest piece. Should be an easy one, right? Beta, it's 3 Elder Dragon Bones. Again, you can get that from Nergigante. Quality Bone, Nergigante. Bliss Module. You will have to fight a Diablos. You can carve that from the tail. You can get a number of other ways, too. Dragon Bone Relic, of course, being a rare bone drop. Arms. Well, the arms kind of depend, right? So I'm using the Nergigante Vambraces Alpha because I have that Weakness Exploit Decoration. If you do not have that, and again, Tail, Horn, Carapace, Fire Cell Stone should all be pretty self-explanatory. Fire Cell Stone, you have to mine rare in the Elder's Recess. Hot area. The one that you would use otherwise is Teostra Vambraces Beta. Those are all just general carves from Teostra. Shouldn't be a problem. Nergiante Coil Beta, again, those are just all things from Nergigante. Shouldn't be a problem. Nova Crystals, of course, mined. And then the legs, these are from Black Diablos. Maybe the hardest thing is if you can't find a Black Diablos. But if you do SOS searches, you should be able to find them. Ridge and Carapace are carves. Black Spiral Horn Plus is, of course, a horn break. Make sure you get that. Wyvern Gem, you can actually get from Diablos. You can also farm it from things like Baroth. I think Giratotus drops it as well. It's generally fairly common. Fight enough Diablos, though, you'll get it. And the Talisman. Oh, maybe this would actually be the hardest part. I don't really want to go through the whole thing. I know it needs Zora Magdaros. Which I'm sorry. I'm making you fight Zora Magdaros. But it's some sort of gem there, and there's another gem afterwards. I forget. It might have been like a Teostra gem. Maybe a Kushala Daora gem. Just cut the tail and break the head and carve and just hope that you find it. Of course, if you don't have it, it's no big deal. You could always throw in something like an Agitator or Attack Charm and just go with only a 3-slot weapon. It is absolutely not mandatory for the build at all. Okay, so a little bit longer one than usual. I guess it's a little bit more involved than just spamming Slicing Shot, but there you have it. Otherwise, again, if you have not already subscribed and turned on notifications, I am streaming 6 days out of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Friday, I start around, again, 7 p.m., but I go late. Usually I go into about 1 or 2 in the morning. Saturday and Sunday are 12-hour streams. Saturdays are with the old podcast boys. Sunday is with the Xbox community. So, there are plenty of chances to come in and ask me questions live, and I would love to help answer your questions. But otherwise, until next time, this is just Shepard saying good luck and have a good hunt.